Today is Monday, so I do have to go into my day job, but I'm up for my morning exercise. I'm about to head home from work. Really the only interesting thing that happened today is I had more of a conversation with my boss about what's gonna happen over the next 3 months as I'm part-time here. Basically, we figured out that at least for now, I'm gonna work 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, where Tuesday is remote. We also talked about insurance, and he offered to split some of the insurance costs with me, but I actually think that I can get it cheaper myself, which is odd because I probably shouldn't say what the number was since it's not my business, but it was way more than I expected and way more than I had seen any quote for, though my insurance was really good here. So, I mean, he's paying for good insurance and that's why it was super expensive. Even me covering half the cost, I think I can do it cheaper myself with him covering the other half. So I don't know what that's about. Maybe I'm just deluded or wrong, but I don't know. I'll look into it. Time to finish up those Prybars. Though, I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. I am so sore. I know I really haven't done that much exercise and I shouldn't be, but I'm dying today. I think it was the shoveling mostly that did me in. Lots of twisting has made kind of my abs and I don't know, sides sore, my back. So I might be dragging a little bit today. Prybars finished and seem good. Oh yeah, and there's one more thing that I am super excited for. It's right outside here. That is my new mini. This is the mini split I got. It is a 24,000 BTU unit with 21.5 SEER. SEER is a measure of efficiency. 21.5 seems to be middle high. 20 seemed to be kind of average. You could get them as low as 18. I think I saw one as high as 24, but that was a smaller unit. So this is middle average, above average efficiency. This should cool this whole shop and heat it throughout most of the year. Now here in Indiana, it does get fairly cold in the winter. I mean, we're not you Minnesota guys, but 0 degrees Fahrenheit, which is negative 10 or something Celsius, negative 20 Celsius. I don't know. It gets pretty cold in the winter, but this will cover 90% of my heating and cooling needs. Right now in the shop, it is 85, maybe 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 35 Celsius. I don't actually know what it is. You can Google it if you want a more precise answer, but it's hot in here and I do not like working in the heat all day, every day. So I will be able to get so much more done with some climate control. Now this did cost me a week and a half of my runway. I have 50 weeks. Well, I started with 50 weeks of runway. I now have 48 and a half weeks of runway. So there's an investment there. But I think in terms of getting usable days in the shop back, it'll pay for itself within a year. And I won't be miserable, which will be worth it. So I'm super excited to get that installed. I'll have to call my dad out to help. Hopefully soon. I don't know when we'll be able to find a good day. These also came in. I've been slowly picking up Allen wrench screwdrivers, I guess you would call them, for specific ones for my specific fixtures. This one is for my Prybars. This one is for my carabiners. That one is for something else. Anyway, but it's so nice to have those always ready at hand. They can get put away with the fixture, and it just makes getting things in and out so much easier. Trays, the other one is for trays. Now we go through the process of getting these finished up. Step 1 is belt sanding. Actually, there's a step 0, which is cutting them out of their frames. Speaking of heat, my camera got hot and overheated and shut down during that time lapse. So I'm just gonna do the rest of this off camera and put my camera on the air conditioner to cool down. The little one I have in here that doesn't actually do anything. I was given this one, but it's not big enough to do anything in this space. It basically just acts as a dehydrator and occasionally a camera chiller. And by dehydrator, I mean dehumidifier. The Prybars are sandblasted. Now I need to get them tumbled, but Remember those parts I started tumbling like forever ago? Well, they're still tumbling. I need to take them out. They should be nice and done by now. Nice and bubbly. This is one of my least favorite things in the shop. I'm about to rinse those parts that were in the tumbler in this sink here, but it doesn't really have a drain. Like, it has a drain, but it doesn't go to our septic tank or anything. And so I have to open the garage door and stick a tube out the door. Now I can put the Prybars back into the tumbler, but I use just a little bit of this I almost called it anti-acid. It's not Tums. Anti-rust solution. I can put this anti-rust solution in here, which is in fact an acid and not Tums. Just a little bit, and that'll keep the Prybars from rusting, which turns out if you leave these are steel. If you leave them in water for 2 days, they will rust. So pop those in there and put the lid on. Tomorrow, when these have air dried, these will have a date with my other tumbler, probably in smaller batches. I'll probably break this up into maybe 3 batches so that they don't hit each other. My other tumbler has clean walnut shell media in it, which will just give them a nice little polish on top of the stone washing. With the titanium parts, I can pretty much tumble those for as long as I want because I want them to be as rounded over and as smooth as possible. The Prybars, there's kind of this balance where I want some of the sandblasted texture to show through, but I also want them to be smooth. So you have to control how long they're in there. And for me, in my media, that is 24 hours. So in 24 hours, I'll take them out of there and give them a look. But I want a little bit of the pitting from the sandblasting to be left, but also for them to be smooth to the touch. That's how I get kind of an orange peel effect. Now, I do have to say, and I don't know what changed, my prototype carabiners had a much more intense orange peel than my Kickstarter production ones do. My guess is that it was a difference in the material. I'm not sure. There's some variable I'm not controlling there. So they're not as rough as they were, but they still have some orange peel to them, and I like the new finish. Probably more than the old orange peel. Most of these parts are going to my Patreon members. I have a tier for prototype of the month. At that tier, you get one of all of the prototypes that I'm working on for that month. So in this case, we have lanyards. Obviously, they're still missing their elastic. We have titanium split rings, and we have what we were gonna call the key sling, well, I was gonna call them a wristlet. That's the technical term. But the people on Discord convinced me to call it a key sling, and I kind of like that. So this is it's like a lanyard that'll go around your wrist, a short lanyard. This will be a regular lanyard, and then there's 2 different sizes of titanium split ring. So if you want to get some of these, you can join my Patreon. There's a link down in the description. You need to back at the Prototype of the Month Club. And if you want another way to stay in touch with me, I actually have a physical newsletter. Like, you get letters in the mail from me with free stickers. I call this Free Sticker of the Month Club. If you join the Patreon, you get signed up automatically, but it is free. You don't have to be a Patreon member. You can also find a link down in the description for that. This month, we have a really cool custom design sticker that was made by an independent artist. So it's not just one of the normal Design the Everything stickers. It is actually legitimately art, and I love it. I actually should order those. I should probably order those tonight. So if you want one, sign up so I don't order too few. The stickers are expensive. So I may have made a mistake with this unit. I thought it was the pre-charged DIY kind. Looking at the instructions, it's definitely not the kind where it's just plug and play. I'm trying to figure out if it's the kind that already has the refrigerant in it, or if I need to add more refrigerant. If it already has refrigerant in it, then I could just pull a vacuum on the lines. I have a vacuum pump. I don't have the manifold, but I can get one. Those are like 45 bucks. If it doesn't have any refrigerant in it, then I'm gonna have to call somebody to come in and do it because I don't wanna mess with refrigerant. If it's the kind that just needs the lines vacuum pumped, then I just need to spend 45 bucks at Harbor Freight and pump out the lines. So I'm gonna do some research. It looks like there's some YouTube videos on it, including one by someone I know. You can make this too. So I'm gonna watch his video and see what he has to say on it.